In the industrial heart of northern England, nestled within the shadowy streets of Middlesbrough, there exists a chilling figure who has haunted the collective memory of generations: Sandshoe Sammy. This urban legend, born from the whispers and fears of the local community, paints a vivid and terrifying picture of a mysterious man who preyed upon children from the 1930s through the 1980s. Sandshoe Sammy was not just a benign spectre used to scare youngsters. He was believed to be a real entity with a sinister purpose. According to the legend, Sammy roamed the streets after dark, seeking out the toes and fingers of unsuspecting children to add to his macabre collection. The mere mention of Sandshoe Sammy would send shivers down the spines of the children of Middlesbrough. Parents would invoke his name to keep their little ones from wandering too far or for staying out too late, warning them that Sammy was lurking in the shadows, ready to snatch them away. The legend of Sandshoe Sammy became a source of both dread and fascination, a dark tale that served as a powerful deterrent and a grim reminder of the dangers that awaited those who did not heed the warning to stay indoors after nightfall. In the shadowy corners of Middlesbrough's industrial landscape, the legend of Sandshoe Sammy emerged as both a warning and as a mystery. This chilling figure, whose origins are shrouded in whispers and fragmented memories, has been a subject of fear and fascination for generations. The legend dates back to the early 1930s, a time when Middlesbrough was bustling with industry, and the nights were often cloaked in fog and shadows. Sandshoe Sammy was described as a gaunt, vagrant-like figure, always wearing a pair of oversized, worn-out sandshoes that gave him his distinctive name. These sandshoes were far too large for his feet, which caused him to shuffle awkwardly, his steps echoing ominously on the deserted streets. His appearance was further marred by a tattered coat, crudely held together by pieces of string, which flapped like wings in the wind. This ragged coat, along with his dishevelled hair and unkempt beard, gave him an almost spectral presence. What made Sandshoe Sammy truly terrifying was not just his appearance, but the sinister intent attributed to him. According to the legend, Sammy prowled the streets at night, his deep-set eyes scanning for unwary children. It was said that he had a morbid obsession with collecting the toes and fingers of children, which he kept in his ragged bag as grotesque trophies. Parents would sternly warn their children to stay indoors after dark, spinning tales of how Sammy would snatch them away if they wandered too far. The origins of Sandshoe Sammy are a blend of fact and fiction. Some say he was a real man, a tragic figure who had fallen on hard times and become the embodiment of the community's fears. Others believe he was entirely a creation of the collective imagination, a bogeyman invented to keep children safe from the very real dangers of the streets at night. There are accounts from the 1940s that speak of a man matching Sammy's description lurking around the streets, his presence enough to send the children scurrying home in terror. In the 1950s, Elizabeth Ann Green recalled seeing Sammy in her neighbourhood. She described him as a figure who seemed to materialise out of nowhere, his oversized shoes and baggy coat making him appear larger and more menacing. Children would often shout his name in a mix of fear and bravado, only to be chased by the eerie figure, adding more fuel to the legend. As the decades passed, the tales of Sandshoe Sammy evolved, with each generation adding its own embellishments. In the 1960s, Daniel Dean was warned by his parents to steer clear of Sammy on his way home from school. By the 70s and 80s, sightings of a man fitting Sammy's description, loitering outside the gates of primary schools, kept the legend alive, bleeding the lines between myth and reality. Sandshoe Sammy's description paints a picture of a man who is both pitiful and terrifying, a ghostly figure whose presence serves as a grim reminder of the darker side of urban life. Whether real or imagined, Sandshoe Sammy's legend continues to haunt the streets, a chilling tale passed down through the generations. The factual basis for Sammy's existence is supported by numerous eyewitness accounts. But what these children saw may not have been Sandshoe Sammy himself, but maybe just a man who had fallen on harder times. Maybe a homeless man, whose clothes were also tattered and torn. However, as with any good urban legend, the story of Sandshoe Sammy is also steeped in fiction. The more sinister aspects of the legend, such as Sammy's supposed obsession with collecting the toes and fingers of children, likely emerged from the collective imagination of a community looking to explain the inexplicable. These dark embellishments served as a dual purpose. They made the legend more terrifying and compelling, and they reinforced the cautionary nature of the tale. Parents, eager to keep their children safe from the very real dangers of wandering the streets at night, found in Sammy a perfect tool for discipline. The stories they told were filled with vivid and gruesome details, designed to keep even the most adventurous children from straying too far. The interplay between these sightings and fictional embellishments is what makes the legend of Sandshoe Sammy so fascinating. Urban legends like this endure for a reason. They are passed down from generation to generation to teach children a lesson. The real man, if he ever existed at all, has been overshadowed by the mythical figure that he became. What do you think? Have you heard the legend of Sandshoe Sammy? Until next time, stay safe.